My name is Darrell Rodenbaugh. I'm responsible within McAfee for what we call our mid-market business, which some might think of as an SMB business. We divide our business into three segments. We have a consumer business, what we call our mid-market business, and our enterprise business. I'm responsible for that part in the middle, which for us represents about a $400 million per annual turnover business. We refer to this challenge as the security paradox. On one hand, these are organizations that are faced with the same security exposures as the largest of enterprises. I like to say they swim in the same internet cesspool. Their users are accessing the same sorts of applications. They're exposed to the same incredible growth that we're seeing in malware around the world. And so they face the same problems that the largest of enterprises do. On the other hand, they don't have nearly the amount of, or the level of resources that they can throw at this problem that their enterprise counterparts do. Our studies tell us that the typical IT operation within the mid-sized organization spends less than 3 hours a week actively managing security, because for them, security is a part-time job. And the IT management within these organizations are focused on business applications and new functionality that they can deliver to their users to grow the business.
Wouldn't something like managed security make sense for such organizations?
It does, and we approach the managed security market in lots of different ways. We were actually one of the first purveyors of a managed security service offering, which in fact we call it our Total Protection Service, that we introduced in the marketplace almost 9 years ago. Today, McAfee is the world's largest purveyor of managed security service offerings. We provide a series of services that really solve all of the complete spectrum of security challenges that our customers face in a managed way. At the same time, we also deliver self-managed solutions and platforms for our customers. Security shouldn't be complex, and it doesn't have to be. As I said, most organizations spend only a couple of hours a week managing security. Smaller sized organizations spend even less. And the challenge is that very often those organizations don't have good guidance, don't have good procedures for how they manage their security environment. So about 9 months ago, I invested in a study, some analysis that we did to try to understand what are the best practices that a smaller mid-sized organization should put in place so that they can better protect their businesses. I hired consultants. I brought on board third-party researchers. We worked with, in the United States, with the National Institute of Science and Technology. And what we created was a methodology, an approach. Think of it as sort of a checklist of actions that a company should take each and every day so that they can better manage their security environments. We call this 15 minutes to security because what we find out is that most of our mid-sized organizations can only manage their security environments, they only dedicate 15 minutes or so a day to their security practices. And so we created this methodology, this approach. It's not necessarily linked to McAfee solutions. In fact, you could apply this methodology to anybody's technology. But what we did was we made it generic enough so that any organization, any mid-sized organization, can pick it up and use this methodology. And it lays out day by day in a very simple, calendared fashion, what are the steps that you should take to be safe and secure. And then we gave it away. And so I teach my partners, my reseller entities in the world how to use it, how to purvey that to their customers. And we make it available free of charge on the McAfee website. So that, and we find lots of companies around the world that download it, access it online, and go take advantage of this methodology. Because at the end of the day, what's most important to us is that we provide some guidance, some leadership to companies in this space for how they remain safe and secure. And so that's our primary means by which we've tried to educate the customers around how they do this. There was a study done a few months ago in London, and they discovered that some 50,000 cell phones have been left in cabs over that 6 month prior time, and about 5,000 laptop computers had been left there. And imagine all the confidential information that existed on those platforms. The reality of it is that there's even security technologies to allow companies to be safe and secure from even those sorts of risks. The challenge is that most organizations don't proactively think ahead and think about how they protect themselves. We recently did a study. In fact, we call the study report that we published, The Security Paradox. And what we discovered was that companies spent some over $40,000 on average per year recovering from attacks, recovering from data loss. And that's simply because they didn't proactively manage against those going forward. We estimate that worldwide companies spent probably $30 billion responding, reacting after the problems affected them. And so what we want our customers to think about is think about proactively. What are the security measures you can put in place? What are the policies that you can enforce? What are the methods that you can take to protect the primary threat vectors that our customers are exposed to? And that's really our message to our customer base.
In my interactions with our readers, one common complaint that we've had is that there's a lot of talk from vendors about, supporting SMBs, enabling them, stuff like that. But when it really comes to it, there are very few solution providers, their partners, who are interested in smaller businesses. I mean, they're looking at for bigger businesses, obviously multi-million-dollar
kinds of companies,
deals. So do you really see a shift in that, or are your partners?
I see a shift to that in our business, but I agree that by and large the security industry has left the small and mid-sized organization on their own. The industry itself has focused either on the very lucrative consumer business, or it's tried to solve, and in our case, I'll admit, tried to solve the most complex of security challenges because those tend to be most interesting. We've taken, I think, a different approach. We've developed products and services specifically for the mid-sized organization. I talked about this methodology that we employ to allow our customers to follow a set of steps in order to be safe and secure. And the reality of it is that you can't simply take some technology that was developed for some large enterprise and force-fit it into this marketplace. The needs are very different. The fact that organizations are so limited both in time and money resources for security says that you need a different set of solutions, a different approach. And so we've actually taken, I think, a unique concept in this market. We focus on delivering technologies that follow what we internally call the 3 S's. They have to be smart, simple, and secure. Our technologies, and before we release anything into the SMB space, it has to follow that set of criteria. It's got to be smart. We've got to have intelligence built into the product. We've got to have standard defaults that make sense, smart packaging. It's got to be simple. It's got to be easy to manage, easy to maintain, easy to install. And it's got to be secure, because our customers in this space face the exact same challenges as the largest of enterprises.
How do you differentiate your solutions from, well, practically everyone's come out with SMB solutions, right, from Symantec to even these newer players like EScan, and you've got Kaspersky.
Yeah, it's a busy landscape.
Yes, so how are you differentiating?
It's a very busy landscape, and unfortunately, from my perspective, a lot of these point solutions are frankly, I think they're misleading customers. And let me explain why. We've been working with security consultants and analysts around the world. We defined 5 primary threat vectors as the areas in which our customers need to be safe and secure. They need to protect the endpoint, systems, servers, laptops. They need to protect their email, protect them from spam and the malicious stuff that comes with spam. They need to protect their data. They need to make sure that that data in motion is encrypted. They need to make sure that devices are properly controlled so that an employee can't walk out the door with the customer base tomorrow if he's disgruntled. They need to protect their network, because we often find that the network vector is a very prominent one for how organizations are attacked. And they need to protect the web. Today, our customers' employees are surfing the net on a daily basis more than ever before, and the new technologies like Facebook and MySpace make that even more predominant. And so we believe that companies need to protect themselves from all 5 ways in. And unfortunately, there's a lot of companies out there that for their own best interest are trying to convince customers that if they only protect themselves from 1 or 2 of these vectors, that they're truly safe and secure. The reality of it is that they're not, because all 5 of these vectors are dangerous.